I'll make a motion that we approve amending the city administrator's contract as discussed.
Okay, got a motion by Rick.
I'll second it.
Got a second by Ed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimous. We will close the meeting at 7:27. We will have 2 council people missing, but we still will have a quorum. We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, one God, one indivisible. I got ahead of myself there, didn't I? Trying to rush that one, huh? Yeah. That was kind of funny. Okay, we will have reports from council. Ed Waters.
I want to thank everybody that helped with National Night Out last night. We had a great turnout. Thanks to the chief and his group. They did a great job. Art and what's his name? Kim. And they did a fabulous job. I also want to say thanks to Home Depot. Every quarter they decorate a veterans yard with flowers and such. So this quarter is the Elks Lodge. The Elks Lodge contributes much to our veterans. Last week they entertained and cooked for 305 veterans. Showed them around Kemah Boardwalk and went to NASA. And for Veterans Day, they will have another 300 and something, I'm not sure of the number, in November. So tomorrow we're going over with a group from Home Depot to plant flowers and decorate for them.
All right. Thank you, Ed. Rick Fisher.
All right, well, Mary's not going to be here tonight, so she wanted me to say that right now they're holding off on the all parks activities at least for another couple of weeks, hoping it's going to cool off to get more into pumpkin spice weather. The next meeting right now is going to be scheduled for Wednesday, October 22nd at 9 a.m., and it's going to be another one of the working meetings where they want to go and start putting some fall color and fall plants into the parks around the city.
All right. Thank you, Rick. Susan Baker.
All right. Good evening. Yeah, I just want to echo the same thing about last night. Thank you. It was, as always, a great event. Frito pie is always well appreciated. I also wanted to say we went over to join the Kemah PD over at Starbucks this morning because they had a little gathering there too, and even though Starbucks is not in our city limits, Starbucks has also said anytime that we need anything for any of our events, they'd love to help out with coffee or even in the hot weather, iced tea and so forth. So that was a nice offer.
Was there a Clear Lake Shores officer over there too, Susan?
There was. And I stood between the chief and her to make sure there were no conversations that,
That's awesome. Appreciate you working with them, Chief. All right, thank you, Susan. I'll keep mine short. I want to reiterate the Civic Club did a great job last night. Same thing as Ed said, Art and Kim do a great job with feeding everybody. Our staff was there last night. I think some of them said that's the first time they've been there. We had a hard time getting Cheryl to leave. She was having so much fun last night. Mike offered her a ride. She said, no, I'm staying. I'll ride home with the mayor. And so we went back to the city hall, and last night, in previous meeting, I had mentioned that we're doing a decorating contest up there, a team building contest that was brought on by our two-time award-winning CFO, Cheryl herself, too. And we lit the lights last night. It was pretty neat. Trish came up, took some pictures, and there's probably a picture of it circulating around. The supermoon was coming up over this building, and she got a great picture of it just right in the center of the building. It was perfect. So I want to thank Cheryl for that. That's been a fun kind of contest. We're up there jabbing at each other. Everybody's put a lot of work into it. I did reach out to some businesses up front, and they're going to participate in providing some gift certificates for prizes for everyone. So that'll be fun to have them involved. For the boat ramp, they had a pre-bid meeting. I'll let Mike talk about that, but that project's moving forward. There is a interlocal agreement on the agenda tonight to be signed for the bridge, so that project's trying to move forward too. Don't really have a timeline yet on either one of those projects, but I know they're moving forward, and as soon as these guys open those bids, we'll be bringing something back to council to award that, soon. So other than that, I think that's about the end of my report. We will move on to Chief David Donaldson's representative over here with the police report.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I'm here to give the stats for September, and it looks like we have, for the month of September, calls for service and self-initiated calls. They look like they're at about 1,751. 46% of those were business. It looks like business. Sorry, I did not write this. Business checks. There you go. 26% were residential checks. 15% traffic. Let's see. What does that say? Radio related. I'm sorry. Traffic related. The other 13% was miscellaneous. Apologize. Next time I'll write this out.
That's okay.
I think that's
All right.
it.
Thank you, Julie.
Sure, and we want to
Been
remind
waiting for that
everyone.
moment for a long time. You've been in training for a while. So
Well, I know, and I wish I would have been a
didn't mean
little
to
bit.
put you on the spot, but it was your turn.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. But remind everyone about our fall festival, October the 25th. It'll be at Stewart Elementary, so we hope everyone can join us. It's on their Facebook page. So
And Tasha has been working her
Yes,
behind
she
off
has.
on that project.
she
So
has. She's been working
You see
really hard.
Tasha on the street, tell her thank you. She's done a lot for that. And she's got a lot of participation too, and she's still pretty excited about it. So you can get out there, please go visit. They're going to have all kinds of stuff there. I'm sure that's been on the flyer a couple times already. Some markets and some other things. So please participate if possible. City Administrator Mike Cran.
Thank you, Mayor. You mentioned the boat ramp. We did hold a pre-bid meeting for the boat ramp project on September 25th. We had 9 prospective bidders participating in the meeting, which is a pretty good turnout. Bids will be open tomorrow, and a recommendation for the chosen bidder will be on the November council agenda. Work is expected to begin on the project in December. So we do have a bit of a timeline for the boat ramp project to begin. Not sure how long it's going to take. I don't have a Gantt chart yet for the entirety of it, but we should get dirt moving by December. There's a P&Z meeting on October 22nd. We're going to be bringing a few recommendations for amendments to zoning ordinances, just some minor stuff for the committee to consider. I met with Tommy Cones, our fire marshal, last week. We're working together to create a process that incorporates the business registration process with annual fire inspections so that we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So Tommy and I are working on making sure that we're inspecting all of our businesses every year, but also encouraging businesses to actually register, because that's been a problem here in the past. There's currently an alternate position open on the Animal Resource Center Committee. Dr. Kellen Scanlon was previously in the position before moving out of the city, so if council wants to consider replacing her with an alternate for that, I'm sure Ed wouldn't mind having somebody there for him to represent every now and then. The siding on both ends and the front of City Hall is rotting in several places and needs to be replaced if we want to prevent water damage in the building in the future. We're currently getting quotes for the repairs on that. I am anticipating that's going to probably run between 30 and 40 grand. The coping on the community pool is fracturing on the edges, and some pieces are coming loose from the mastic. Some of the tiles below the coping are also separating, and the grout around them is separating. That pool was retiled and coped in 2021. We spent about $57,000 on the project. It was also replastered, had some work done on the steps. had representatives from the pool company or from the contractor who did it out here. I met with them last Friday, got a quote from them. The issue is that coping is a precast form of coping that has no warranty. There's no warranty on that coping that we put on there 4 years ago. So we're not covered. I got one quote on it today that was just shy of $18,000, but I'm still waiting on quotes from at least 2 more pool companies to see what it's going to take to get the pool in good repair so we don't have broken coping that people are cutting their hands on. One last thing, if you haven't driven south on Drawer Road, the city of Kemah has been working to get TxDOT to give them some sort of timeline on when they're going to put an actual red light, green light traffic signal up there, or close the divider opening in the middle of the median. TxDOT has already approved both of those as viable alternatives for that intersection. There have been over 400 accidents there since 2020 in that like 2-block radius, 1-block radius. So it is a hazardous area, especially as it's gotten busier. It's kind of hard to navigate. You're playing Frogger if you want to go straight across, which, you know, Cheryl just considers a good challenge. She drives it every day.
I'm 399 Red Hill. Yeah.
But if you drive that way, you will notice that both left turns off of 518 have been barricaded now. TxDOT did give Kemah authority to go ahead and barricade it immediately. And the north-south thoroughfare crossing has been barricaded completely. So you can't make turning movements right there right now. So I don't know how long that's going to last. There's a lot of push from Kemah's side and from some state representatives and stuff to get TxDOT to do something with it to make the intersection a little bit safer. That's all I have tonight.
So if we have any say so, Mike, I'd like you to take the position of we would like that road to have a red light, not medians, because that defeats the purpose of us putting in that road to get traffic to and from Home Depot and our sales tax base. So we would rather have a red light, quite honestly, because people aren't going to make that turn and go all the way down and make a U-turn and come back. That's not going to be good. So hopefully you can have some say-so with Caesar over there, and he'll listen.
Well, Caesar informed me that the intersection or design had already been approved for either one of those options. So I don't know which option TxDOT is going to go with. Ultimately, I think it does benefit us to have a red light there. One of the challenges we're going to have convincing TxDOT is that there's another red light just east of there, so close at the entrance to Walmart, and sometimes they're averse to putting red lights back to back that closely, especially on a high-traveled, higher-speed roadway. So it's ultimately going to be their whim, but I will definitely make our position known.
Yeah, I appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you, Mike. Council have any questions for Mike about any of his report?
Now, so no warranty on that pool coping or anything? It's just they were going to put it in if the brakes were hammered.
No, the stuff that we have now that they installed 4 years ago had no warranty on it. We are going to, I want to go back with something like a travertine that will last us 20 or 30 years. But I've got to get all the quotes in and see what our options are.
Right. All right.
All right. I appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on to committee reports. Roads and drainage. You're up, Thomas.
Well, this last meeting, we have had a meeting with Colliers, and I think they get what we want now. We made it clear that we don't need the blinged out Cadillac, but we need a really good Ford or Chevy, and we expect to get the final proposal from them in November. So it's unlikely, this is pertaining to Narcissus, and it's unlikely that we're going to start digging or doing anything before January. But it's finally happening. And after that, we're going to go with Clear Lake Road from Birch to Forest. only because we don't want to do all of it at the same time we do the bridge, because that's going to be more traffic havoc. And that's about it.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Parks? Anything from Parks other than what you'd already mentioned?
No, just the meeting in October. That was it.
Okay. Waterfront compliance?
Nothing from Waterfront.
Okay. Planning and zoning? Yes, ma'am. You mind going to that? Just so people that are watching the video can hear you.
To confirm and address Mike's comment earlier that there will be a planning and zoning meeting on October 22nd.
Okay. Anyone from Zoning Board of Adjustments?
No activity as far as I know.
Okay. All right. It's not on here, but we'll go, Thomas, you want to say anything about the EDC?
Yeah, first of all, we're going to have our EDC meeting Tuesday next week on the 14th, and we're going to have Hunter Cameron from the marina right here coming to give us a presentation. They have some asks from the EDC and pertaining to their expansion. They have asked for some, so they're going to come with a formal ask to us. Now, I understand that the planning and zoning meeting on the 22nd is also regarding that marina, where they're going to replat it, which I assume, which I'm told is going to be in line with what the city of Clear Lake Shores would want. And that essentially means that the service shop and the store remains with a cash register in Clear Lake Shores. Now, just so you know, Kima has been pushing really hard for that to move over to their piece. But
They've been working really hard for what?
to get that piece over to Kima.
Cash register staying in Clear Lake Shores.
Yes.
We already got a deal.
Yep. Another thing about EDC, we have 4 positions coming available after this meeting. So if you know anybody that would be interested or good for EDC, please tell them to apply. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. Moving on, how about the Civic Club? Anyone from the Civic Club?
I'm Joanna Vincenti. I'm the treasurer of Civic Club. We have a busy month ahead. This weekend on Saturday we have the bridge party over on the bridge in Birch, and we're having the rubber duck race. So we will be taking cash for the rubber ducks, $5 per duck, or $20 for 5 ducks, I think is what Priscilla said. Bring your own drinks, and it's a potluck, so bring something to share. Michael and Rachel Shanks will be playing, so we'll have some great music.
Who's going to be playing? Michael Shanks?
Michael Shanks and Rachel, they're coming.
Awesome.
Yeah. Then the week after, Rick and Sam are working to put together the Italian night with a magician whose name, Rick?
Paul Driscoll?
Paul Driscoll.
Yeah.
Yes, with a magician. So if you're interested in that, please, there's a flyer on all of the Facebook pages, including Civic Club's Facebook page, with Sam's number. So just text her and tell her, and I'll be there taking payments that night if that's needed. And then we have the Witches Ride coming up at the end of the month on the 25th, the night of the event at Stewart. And Galveston Bay is helping support that, so we'll be gathering all the witches and wizards. We'll be gathering for the golf cart parade in front of Galveston Bay, I think is where they're meeting. And then we'll parade around the island and throw candy at all the kids. To the kids, at the kids. To the kids. Yes. And we also have a new vice president. Trish Scarborough is our new vice president. She was elected last week. So we're very happy to have her and have someone help us organize the membership. And we're always looking for new members, so sign up. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Gianna. Will you do me a favor and make sure someone from the Civic Club gets with the chief on blocking the road off and the escort for the Witches Ride, please?
Oh, yeah, I think I will.
Yeah, just make sure somebody does so he knows. Thank you. All right, we will move on to public comments. At this time, any person with city-related business may speak to the city council. If the topic of discussion is related to an item on the agenda, the comments may be made now or at the time the agenda item is discussed. If the topic of discussion is not related to an item on the agenda, the city council cannot deliberate or take any action at this time. Comments from the public should be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes per individual, and no yielding of time is permitted. Would anyone like to address the council? Oh, you beat me to it.
Suzanne Hubbard, 915 Hawthorne. It's been some time since we've seen the plans for the new boat ramp. Would it be possible to put them on the Facebook page? Just something for you to consider. I'm sure they're probably on the city's page, but just to refresh people's memory.
Okay, I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we can do that.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Burrell, I live at 123 Narcissus with my wife Mary Ellen, and I was just hoping that we could consider or make a discussion on doing something with our parks, with the fishing and the boat ramp. Some of you may know my wife was in property management. She works for Goodwin and Company. It's the largest property management in the whole state of Texas. And my concern is, as a resident here with a boat, the boat ramp gets to be a little congested, and I'm sure we're all aware we had a firearm drawn last year or sometime earlier this year, which we're just trying to fish. It shouldn't come to that, but to my knowledge and from what Mary Ellen has said, we're the only community in the whole Clear Lake area that has a boat ramp that's just either not gated off or open to the public, completely open to the public. And I was thinking maybe we should consider maybe a sticker system for priority for the residents, and if not that, then maybe charging the transients some dollar amount per year to have a sticker in the window that says, yes, I've paid and I can fish at our parks or use the boat ramp, etc. Now, if we can't, and I'm ignorant of this situation, there must be a reason. I was shocked when I moved here that the boat ramp was open and the fishing is open. I'm home a lot. I've stopped multiple people on my neighbor's docks that think, well, it's an empty dock, I can fish off of it. And I always ask them, do you have permission from the owner? And the answer is always, well, no, we thought we could use it. One of them even told me that one of our own officers told them that they could fish on that one because no one's ever on it. And I said, well, that's not true, because which officer told you that? And of course they couldn't bring that name up. But I'm not on law enforcement, and I don't think I should enforce our lease front. I'm just thinking it's starting to get out of control a little bit, in my opinion. They're also going to close the 270 boat ramp down. TxDOT's doing that shortly. That means our boat ramp is going to get real busy. I'm on it often. I've talked to some of those guys, and they're like, oh yeah, we're all coming over here. I'm telling my buddies that can't get in there, and I'm like, ugh. You know, there's a difference between a public boat ramp and ours that's in a residential neighborhood. So I was just thinking maybe we should consider some way to either control who's coming and going or give residents that pay the taxes here priority to use Sundial or Depot or Jarboe to fish, because there's been pushing and shoving. I've watched it happen out there, and people getting upset that they can't use the handicap parking, or there's not enough parking and they're parking in the grass, and I've chased people off my neighbor's grass because they think it's a free-for-all back here. So just something to consider.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let me just tell you my advice. So we can't deliberate right now, but I would suggest you had a joint meeting with our city administrator and our police chief, and they'll educate you on some of the things that you don't know, because there are a lot of things I could tell you right now based on what you think. They can help you with that. So I would tell you to meet with the both of them. All right, thank you. Anyone else like to address council? Okay. We'll close the public comments, and we'll move on to the consent agenda. Item A, check register, 9/11 through 10/1, 2025, council meeting minutes, 9/16/2025, waterfront transfer, and a waterfront transfer. Do we have anything we want to pull off of that consent agenda, or do we have a motion?
Weren't you going to say something about that one waterfront transfer? One here for easement B047 Echo. They've got on here for the waterfront inspection that it is not, that it says ready for transfer, and it says no. I talked to Angie earlier, and she said, I guess the original problem was that they had the pier on it, and the end of the pier was unstable.
It's been removed.
Apparently, they've removed the pier, so it is. This one is good to go through, then?
It is.
Okay. Well, then I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda items A through E.
Okay, got a motion from Rick.
I'll second it.
Got a second by Ed. Is there any discussion on that item? Are those items? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We will move on to item 8, new business, discussion and possible action may be taken on the following items. Item A, discussion and possible action to approve City of Clear Lake Shores to participate in the Alvogen, Amneal, Apatox, Hikma, Indivor, Mylan, Sun, Zydus. Those are the manufacturers of, for the alleged misconduct related to the opioids, and authorize the mayor or city administrator to file all documents necessary to participate. So this is another opioid settlement. We have to get these approved one at a time. We can't just blanketly approve them. So we do want to participate. Like I had mentioned on the last one, we did receive some monies from one of those. So in order for us to receive any of those monies, we need to approve us participating in that, allowing Mike or myself to sign those documents. So do we have any motions on that item?
I make a motion that we approve the possible action to participate in the suit against the manufacturers.
Okay, got a motion by Ed.
Second the motion.
We have a second by Susan. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We'll move on to item B, discussion and possible action to approve the purchase of 9 Taser 10 bundles from Axon for the total amount of $43,048.80. City Administrator Mike Cram.
Thank you, Mayor. This is something that council approved as part of the budget, but because it exceeds the threshold that I'm allowed to purchase, I have to bring it back to you. The 9 tasers are to replace the ones that have reached end of life or gone beyond that the police department currently has. They are Taser 10s, and the bundle is a reduced cost buying an entire package, which comes with the hardware that's associated with them to carry them and all that, comes with training on them, but it also comes with a replacement, free replacement for all the Taser cartridges that the officers use. So we can send in, we request for replacement cartridges, and this purchase will replace those cartridges for free. And those aren't cheap, so it's not a bad deal.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Do we have a motion on item B?
Actually, one question on that, Mike.
Hold on, we gotta have a motion first.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve the purchase of the 9 Taser 10 bundles from Axon.
All right, got a motion by Rick,
I'll second the motion.
got a second by Susan. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, is that 43,048, is that correct? Because I was looking on the quote here, and that's the subtotal, but that doesn't include the tax. Do we not pay tax on those?
No.
Okay, so that's, then the 43,048.80 is correct. Okay.
All right. Is there any more discussion? We have a motion on item B. Oh, I'm sorry. Is there any more discussion? All in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. All right, we'll move on to item C, discussion of possible action to approve Bob Roth to be reappointed to the Planning and Zoning Commission with a term to expire September 30th, 2027. Bob did not, he was not in town and didn't get his application turned in. We only had one applicant for 2 spots on that, so when he returned to town, he let us know that he wanted to reapply. And so I'm asking you guys to consider his application. Since we only had one person, we still have a slot empty, and we had nobody else interested. So that's what that is.
I make a motion that we approve Bob Roth to be reappointed on the Planning and Zoning to expire September 30th, 2027.
Okay, have a motion by Ed,
I'll second it.
got a second by Rick. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We'll move on to item D. Discussion and possible action to approve an interlocal agreement with Galveston County for bond funding in the amount of $1,520,000 to replace the Clear Lake Road Bridge. City Administrator Mike Crane.
So this is in reference to what you mentioned in your comments, Mayor, the interlocal agreement to actually share the bond funds with us to replace that bridge.
Okay. So do we have a motion on item D?
I make a motion that we approve the interlocal agreement with Galveston County for the funding in the amount of $1,520,000 to replace the Clear Lake Road Bridge.
Okay, have a motion by Ed,
I'll second it.
got a second by Rick. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor? Okay, motion passes unanimous. We'll move down to item E, discussion and possible action to authorize the city administrator to sign a contract with Flock Safety for $16,000 with a $14,551 renewal. Mike Cram.
So this is the contract that goes with the grant that was previously approved by council for the Flock Safety, that catalytic converter grant to fund the purchase of the Flock Safety cameras. The grant is actually an annual grant, but the information we received on it is once you approve the grant and then enter into the 2-year contract with Flock, you basically get rubber stamped when you apply for the second year of the contract. So that's what this is, and that's why it's broken into 2 parts.
Do we have a motion on that item?
I make a motion that we approve, authorize city administrator to sign a contract with Flock Safety for $16,000 with $14,551 renewals following thereafter.
Okay, got a motion by Rick,
I'll second the motion.
got a second by Susan. Any discussion on that item? Okay, all in favor? Motion passes unanimous. We'll move on to item F, discussion and possible action to approve the first of 2 readings on Resolution 2025-08, approving expenditures for Clear Lake Shores EDC Shell Bottom Park Boat Ramp project. Mike Cram.
So because this involves more than $10,000 in commitment from the EDC, there are certain stipulations that we have to comply with by law. Excuse me. And so we got with the city attorney just to make sure we had all of our bases covered for this, that we had checked all the boxes. And really this is going back because there's been so many evolutionary changes to this project over the last several years. We wanted to go back and tighten everything up and make sure we had all our ducks in a row. One of the things that we had to go back and research was to ensure that we had a public hearing on it, which we did back in, Cheryl, 2019?
2019.
And so that was one of the boxes we needed to check off. But this just cleans up any loose ends that we might have missed since this project has gone through basically multiple administrations.
Yeah, it's kind of changed. It morphed into something different. Okay, do we have any motions on that item?
I make a motion that we approve possible actions to authorize the city administrator to sign a contract with Flock for, oh, that's the wrong one.
Item F.
Approve possible action to approve the first of 2 readings on the resolution 2025-08, approving expenditures for Clear Lake Shores EDC Shell Bottom Park Boat Ramp project.
Okay, we got a motion by Ed,
I'll second.
got a second by Rick. Any discussion?
And this is if I was reading it right, it's just basically saying that after EDC if they have to spend more than $500,000, we'll cover the rest of it, but then we get reimbursed from it from state of Texas once they do the reimbursement for the boat ramp.
It has verbiage in it that also provides us a mechanism for the city's general fund or whichever pot of money Cheryl takes it from at the time to fund whatever the EDC can't, but also to claw that back from EDC's quarter-cent sales tax with certain thresholds.
Okay.
Okay. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Motion passes. We'll move on to item G, discussion of possible action to approve agreement between City of Clear Lake Shores and CLS EDC regarding financing the CLS EDC Shell Bottom Boat Ramp project. Mike Grant.
I think I just got promoted to mayor.
So one was the discussion of possible action for the, F was for the resolution. This one,
Oh, okay. I got you.
there's two.
Agreement between Clear Lake Shores EDC funding. Okay, yeah, that is the one. That's the mechanism with all the verbiage in it for the funding of the reimbursements from either from the city to, or the funding from the city to EDC and the reimbursements after the fact based on certain thresholds. So I misspoke earlier. Sorry about that, Rick.
I think they both said basically the same thing.
They kind of do.
All right. All right, we'll go ahead and make a motion that we approve the agreement between the City of Clear Lake Shores and the Clear Lake Shores EDC regarding the financing of the Clear Lake Shores EDC Shell Bottom Park Boat Ramp project.
All right, got a motion by Rick,
I second the motion.
second by Susan. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. We'll move on to item H, discussion of possible action to allow the mayor to sign any and all documents necessary for the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant and/or the state budgeted item for Shell Bottom Boat Ramp project. Okay, so just so everybody's kind of clear, this project changed the face of what it originally was. It was going to be a grant with a 75-25. They were going to pay 75, we were going to pay 25% of that grant. It has changed due to some meetings that I had last year with Dr. Greg Bonnet, and they have now put funding in Texas Parks and Wildlife to the tune of $850,000 to fund that boat ramp. So instead of them closing the grant, I asked them to leave the grant open so we could bridge the gap of the money we would have to come up with in our 25% and pay for it with some of the grant money, so it ends up costing our city $0 instead of almost $280,000. So they are sending, real soon they're going to be sending some agreements and some contracts to us that I need to sign for those two entities, because some of it's state funding and some of it is a grant still, but we put enough money in that grant that it'll cover our 25%, and we're going to get fully refunded for any monies that we spent. So that thing will cost us nothing. So instead of bringing those back meeting at a time, every time they send one of those, I'm asking for permission to sign them as they come in so we can keep this project moving. That's what that is. So do we have a motion on item H?
Make a motion to approve the mayor to sign any and all documents related to the Texas Parks and Wildlife Grant and or the state budget item.
I'll make a motion that we approve amending the city administrator's contract as discussed.
Okay, got a motion by Rick.
I'll second it.
Got a second by Ed. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimous. We will close the meeting at 7:27.